Alright guys, so today we're going to be doing a 15 seat. The affixes are going to be Bolsering and Explosive Tyrannical. What does that mean? Bolstering is where when one ad dies next to another, it's going to give them 10 or 20% more life and damage, right? So you want to make sure that you're pulling mobs with similar health pools. That way you can cleave them all down evenly and you don't get big bolster stacks on one or two ads that started off a little bit tougher to begin with anyway. Explosive means for every ad that you pull, there's going to be a chance of them spawning an orb somewhere around, right? They don't take AoE damage, and you have to either tab target them or manually click on them and do some damage to them, okay? There are some spells that you can use, AoE spells that you can use, like them as your primary token that'll branch off. But AoE won't cleave onto them to kill them off. And Tyrannical means that the bosses are going to be doing like, I think it's 20% more damage, 40% more health, something to that effect. They're going to have significantly more health and damage. Anyway, basically, okay? Everyone is ready, and here we go. Alright guys, so we're going to start off. If you've watched any of the MDI stuff, you'll notice that a lot of these guys will walk in here and they'll pull everything in the beginning, pull it right at the boss, stun it, and cleave it all down. For the sake of this, we're not going to do that. We're going to pull this a little bit smaller, okay? Let's make sure we get a rune in here. So let's just start trimming this trash out. You'll notice there's one pack here. There's a mob, set of mobs here, set of mobs here, set of mobs here. There's 4 ads around the boss. So you got 2 on either side. They're casting and making the boss immune. You can't be targeted or damaged at this point. And then there's 2 other packs, which is this really, really slow little walker pack and the fast pack, okay? So if you're pulling anything down there, you've got to be careful that you're not grabbing a bunch of those up. Now, for the sake of bolstering, that would be a good example of a couple of packs that you would want to grab together because they have very, very similar health pools, right? As long as your cleave is nice and even, you can put those down at a nice pace and you'll be good to go. We're not going to do that. We're going to kind of keep this nice and chill, okay? We're not really worried about time on this one. I know it's a Mythic Plus and everybody just starts freaking out and turn to one to Zergit. We're not going to do that. We're just going to kind of hang out. One of the big mistakes that gets made, and I see it a lot, you don't want to give mobs free bolsters, okay? Now that we've pulled this pack here, these aren't going to be even anymore. So we want to make sure that even if those come around here, we don't pull them. Because if these die off, they have like 5% life left and pull those mobs, they're going to get those 3 stacks of free bolsters right out the gate. We don't want none of that, okay? So for these first few trash packs, there isn't really a lot here that's going to kill you. This is an example of the explosive. You can see that green orb that popped up there. It just needs targeted. It doesn't have a lot of life. We're just going to kind of put those down. Let's taunt this one. Let's grip this one. Get some dots here. We're going to grab a couple more of these. There we go. We're going to put those down real fast, okay? Need to make sure we're targeting over to these explosives. Now, one of the big things about seat you want to keep in mind always, because the supply is not only on this front room but everywhere for this dungeon, these black pools right here make you take 100% increased damage, okay? So if the bosses are standing in them or in these ads or anything like that, they're going to deal a ton extra damage. So you just stay out of the black stuff everywhere possible. Be staying out of that black stuff. You just want to be hanging out on solid land, okay? So now we're going to get these little 3 here down. Again, they're not really doing much. We got some bonus ads here. Let's pick those up. We got to be very, very careful. So mistakes were made, right? Not a big deal. We just want to make sure that our team is focusing off the big ads first. So we're going to mark one of them with a skull, start getting people focused in on that ad, because he's got a significant amount more health than those little ads do, right? If you focus them down, you can mitigate how early those bolstering stacks get onto them from natural cleave. So if you ever get a situation like that where you're working on one nice little trash pack, you got everything under control, something gets tab targeted, what have you, just make sure you switch to it. Make sure you switch to the new trash and try and level them down and bring them kind of in line with the stuff that you've already been killing. We're going to clean these out, and you'll see why here in just a little bit. I like to do these before we actually make the boss active, because right now, if we walk over here, you can see he's not getting pulled. Not a big deal. We don't really care. If you wait and pull these last, though, it is very, very, very common for the boss to get engaged while you're trying to kill these guys off. And they will bolster the boss. And that is pretty much the worst thing that can happen. So I'm going to come over here. We're going to taunt that one. That's going to give us threat on both of these. We'll grip him over. Okay, so we got the last bit of trash. So now you can see we've got this whole nice big arena area cleared out. These subjugators aren't going to do a whole heck of a lot. We're just going to get these guys down here. And we're going to get ready to engage this boss. Okay, now, like I said before, it's a 15 Tyranical, but I do want you to take notice of something. Let's look at this boss's health pool. You can kind of see it there. It says 958 million health. Okay? That is a grossly oversized health pool for a 15 Tyranical boss. Usually they're sitting about 580, 600, somewhere in there. That's because this boss has vulnerability windows, okay? We're going to want to make sure we hold threat for the, or hold lust for those. So we're going to pull the boss here. Let's drop a pull timer. We're going to pull him off to the side. Now everybody needs to be careful. This guy does have a big frontal cone we've got to watch out for. Come on, give him my taunt. There we go. Let's get a Death and Decay down and start building some stacks and some threat on him real quick. And we want to make sure we're facing away from our buddies. Now they're all kind of out here in the middle of the room. That's fine. We can work with that. Here's that Note Bomb. You can see that big cleaver thing he put out there, right? There's our Decimate. Now what he does when he does Decimate, he does significant damage to the tanks. He puts this big purple pool on the ground. We want to get out of that because that purple, same as all purple, is going to give us 100% extra damage taken, right? Now, we're going to try to do something a little bit cute here. We're going to grip those out. I'm going to drop into Death and Decay to slow those here. Alright, we're at a fixate stage. So if these adds get to him, they're going to make him do a ton of extra damage. So we got to keep him away from these adds pretty much at all time. In Mythic and above, let's get you up, bud. He's going to, these adds are actually going to drop pools as well. Now during this second phase here, he's going to fixate one player and he's going to begin chasing them. Looks like a white might be in order. That's alright, we'll just keep talking about it. He's going to focus one target and he's going to keep chasing them. Okay, so once you get fixated, you need to make sure that you're running away as quickly as possible. If he catches you, he's going to smack the crap out of you. So when we pull the boss, we're going to pull him off to an edge. We're going to get these nice big purple pools that are going to spawn up. We're going to get these adds that are coming out, right? Let's go ahead and just wipe this. Now, once he does a couple of those decimates, you'll notice those adds come out. He's going to rotate over to a fixate phase, right? That's where he's going to chase one person around, and they're going to take, or if he hits you, you're pretty much done. He's also going to send one player down. I think it's usually a non-heal player. I don't know that he sends healers. You get down there. Oh, he's on tanks. I know he'll send tanks. He's a dick about that. Once you get set down there, you'll see a bunch of little adds that get spawned up. You need to kill off as many of those little adds as you can to fill up the special bar that shows up on your screen. Once that bar gets full, you get an extra action button, okay? That'll pop you back up to the realm where the rest of us are at. And it also makes the boss take 100% increased damage or 200% increased damage. But that's your damage window, right? So in that second phase, we're all killing off the blobs, fixing, so we're kiting the boss around. One person gets sent down, they kill off a bunch of the little adds, fill up their little bar, hit their X action buttons, and then everybody gets on the boss, and we all just do a crazy, crazy, crazy amount of damage. This does get really, really messy up here. If those adds start to get kind of close together, I'm going to grip them all together and then move the boss away, and that should help you guys cleave them down and get kind of caught back up. But it's one of those, you don't want to try and focus the boss a whole ton until we get into one of those vulnerability windows, but at the same time, cleave what you can onto them. Not a big deal. Okay? Let's try it again. This boss is a pain in the ass. Most of them in here are. So no worries. There we go. Yo! Oh my god, you gotta let me get that, Chef. No skittish this week, Chef. No skittish. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and leech for the boys. There's that Note Bomb. Here comes our first Decimate. Boom, big hit. Alright, we're gonna move off to the side. Here come all these little adds. Again, we need to keep him out. We're gonna actually move him right to about here. Let's death strike a couple of times. Explosive there. Alright, we're gonna pull him all the way up here. Fixate, run. If you got sent down, then start killing off ads. The guys up top, just do damage, and if you can, if you're fixated though, just run like hell. And that fixate is going to change every time that bar goes away. So, here we go, new target, and it's Big Druid again. Poor guy. Let's go start getting some damage in on him. Void Terror. There it is. Lust. Go. Nuke, 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 nuke. All the coolies, boys and girls. And you see his life just melting there, right? Alright, watch out, guys. I'm going to pull him back up into this corner over here. Try and keep these decimates a little bit clean. No problem. Watch the cleave. There it is. Here comes Decimate in 3. There we go. And watch out, Chef. I'm moving right towards you. I need that little clean spot right here. Maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. Here we go. We'll play it right here. Leech is going to go out. Alright, here we go. Alright, I got set down. Alright, so now you can kind of see what it looks like when you go down. So we're just going to gather up a bunch of these ads here. We're just going to cleave them down as quickly as possible. You can see as they die, we're filling that bar up. We need a couple more. Let's go ahead and get these here. Just want to get those down as quick as possible. As soon as that bar fills up, we're going to click that, and we're back out, and damage. He's back into that vulnerability phase. Super clean. Okay, so at this point, we're going to have Kinsey. Can you run through that door right there and go activate the RP? So you're going to go run all the way to there to the end and try and talk to somebody. Everybody else, come with me. That RP is super long. So we're going to pull some trash while we're doing that, right? We want to maximize our time here. We don't want to spend 30 seconds staring at them trying to form a door. So we're just going to clear off some of this. Shather pulled a little more for us. So again, focus the high life targets. We want to make sure that we're minimizing that bolster that's going out. Alright. Playing whack-a-mole with these explosives here. That's okay. Alright, he's got 4 stacks. He's all bolstered up. He's doing some mad damage. Alright, perfect. Let's get back in there. And that door should be open. Now, for this next bit, right, we've got to actually clear out 3 separate ad packs that you'll see all kind of hanging around one of these void zones. So you see this big Dreadlord Lord looking dude right here, the Rift Warden? We'll go ahead and mark him. Maybe, if I can figure out how to mark. We need to kill him off. We also need to kill off everything around him. Alright, here's something else to talk about. Randomly, throughout the course of this entire dungeon, these little guys here are going to spawn up underneath us. Not anything we can do about it, we're just going to have to take them. Alright, so make sure you're focusing Skull down. I'm going to walk in here, I'm going to grab all this up, I'm going to grip it all together. Just make sure you're cleaving the marked target, or massacring him. Everybody should be playing whack-a-mole with these explosives. When those little orbs die, you see those purple swirlies that are coming out? Those pools of death. Try and avoid pools of death. Alright. Good. This boy got himself a little bolster, but that's alright. We can take care of that. Alright, there's a pat coming over here. Let's go ahead and back it up here just a little bit. There's a lot of pats out in this area, so wherever you're standing, whatever you're doing, make sure you're watching your tabs and you're also kind of looking around you. Now, this is something Donnie showed me the other day, so we're going to do this again. This is sweet. We need to get back up here. If I can jump. If I could jump, it'd be great. Hey, we made it. Okay. We're going to run all the way out and around here. We're going to skip all this trash, because this stuff over here is really nasty. Oh, there's one of them tricksters. This guy right here is referred to as a trickster. Okay? They run around the entire instance, stealth, and wait till your back is turned on your friends, and then they try and take them out. There are ways you can see them, though. Like a demon hunter's demon sight, for example, can be used to locate tricksters. Okay? So there's a couple of ways around that there. You can kind of find them, find out what's going on. Alright, these guys spawn all the time, so we're just going to need to keep these guys cleaned up. Stay here, I'm going to snipe pull that pack. We're just going to pick just him and only him. We're going to pull him over this way. Oh my gosh, no. Oh no! Make sure we're getting these explosives down. And this is a really tight pull, guys, so just kind of make sure you're watching around where you're going. This is really, really easy everywhere through this instance to pull stuff. Oh god, we're procced. Bah! The damage is real! Yeah. Alright. Rift Ward at least is dead, so let's kill off what we can. If you die, stay down. We're going to release and we're going to kind of let this reset. Let's just try and get what we can for percentage for right now. Alright, this is just about as far as we're going to want to get with it. We got a couple of little ads here. Dunzo, get this explosive. Alright, let's go ahead and reset this. That's fine. So just wait. Kind of move through here really, really carefully. Be looking around because there's pats everywhere. It's so easy to overpull here. There's a few of these pats. 1 second, sorry. There's a few of these pats we need to get out of the way though, because they're going to interfere with the next boss fight. Go. So, you guys see those blue traps that he's throwing on the ground? Be looking for those. Now what they do is if you run over him, you're going to get stunned. If nobody runs over him after a little bit of a time, he's actually going to detonate them. So try and avoid those. Try and stay out of those at all times. You want to be just basically out of the circle. Yeah! Little buggers. What do we got in here? Nothing. Okay, they're just a little bolstered. Alright, now follow me here real close. Now, if you look up kind of where I'm running towards, you can see there's a pad up there as well as the last one of these Rift Wardens, right? We need to get that Rift Warden down. But we don't want all of those pads. So what we're going to do here is you guys are going to stay right here, back kind of where we're sitting. See how we got all this nice space here to play with? You guys are going to stay here, and I'm going to go grab that Rift Warden. Be careful where you're running around. Those tricksters could literally be anywhere, and if they pop up on you and I'm too far away to get threat, it's going to really hurt. As soon as these go down, I'm going to grab that Rift Warden. Here we go. There's a trickster. We're going to snipe pull this guy, and we're going to run right back. Let's get some tournament. Yeah, I got him. I'm coming down to you guys. Alright, here they come. Let's pop a little bit of leech. How's run going so far? I've been stepping away during a lot of it. We had one wipe on the first boss. One trash wipe. Not too bad. Tricksters can be tracked with Hunter's hidden tracking. There you go. So there's another way. We did talk about the Demon Hunter's sight that you can use to see him, but there's a few classes that have an ability to hunt down those tricksters. I wonder, does Paladin work? Does like the shield, the prop pally shield light up if they get too close? Or not, since they're demons and not, or they're void and not demons. I don't know about that one. Okay, so next we're going to need to clear this room here out. Now, we've already got one of the path that kind of coming on this side, but there's another path on the far side that we need to be very careful of. So let's go ahead and start clearing all of this out. We're just going to take this one nice little pull at a time.
Jack it up.
So you notice these shadow stalkers here. These guys aren't demons, so that's what I say. I don't think it'll work because they're not demons. They're actually just void dudes. These cats here, right? Those do the same thing as the cats out of like Dark Art Thicket, the wolves out of Halls of Valor. They basically just leap on somebody and do a ton of damage, right? Oh, Trickster, hello. If you stun CC those, you can mitigate a lot of that damage. You can also use things like Hunter's Ice Trap if it is placed under your feet. When they leap into the ice trap, they'll get frozen and you won't take damage, which is really, really strong. Okay, here's another pat right here. And we're going to need to clear out a lot of this because the next boss can take a lot of room to work. And we're mitigating this. We're trying to dodge those traps. We want to hide from those. Just keep knocking these fell explosives down, moving from traps. No, get over here. What are you doing? Let's get these guys here knocked down. We're just going to clean all of this up. I don't want this to be any tighter than it has to be for these guys. For the next boss, right? You've got Dark Fang, which is going to leap onto people and do pretty significant amounts of damage, right? You got Saprish, who is going to use those traps. He's going to cast them all around him, kind of under our feet. You'll want to move out of those as quickly as possible without running over the traps after they've already been spawned. And then you've got Shadewing, who's going to leap around and do a little bit of damage in front of him, and then begin to cast Dread Screech. Now, if that goes off, it's going to disorient everybody for 4 seconds, and the threat table is actually going to get reset, which is really, really terrible. And people are probably going to die because he's kind of nasty. One more note for the cat. When he does leap at you, think of it as Blink strikes out of Arcway. He's going to sit there for a couple of seconds and just spam some frontal damage, okay? So if you get leaped by the cat, move quickly. It also always targets the farthest person away. So you can kind of control who takes that damage by placement from where he's at. So just, you know, be looking around you, be trying to figure out, you know, who's going to be the best one to take it. Like, the rest of Druid could probably take most all of it, so the hunters might want to stay a little bit closer, the Druid's hand's a little bit farther away. If you get too far away, though, then it's probably going to, oh, okay, we got one. Okay. Alright, I'll take the Shadewing interrupts. Let's try and stay close. These guys do have a shared health pool, so all the multi-dotting we can do is good. Cleave is king here. We got caught by a trap. That's no good. He's detonating all those traps. We're just going to look for him. Let's get that interrupt there. Okay. And we're watching Saprish for these traps here. Let's get out of it. Okay, there. Get Death and Decay down. We're looking for Shade Wings Leap. There's the Dread Screech. Now where's our next pack of traps? There they are. Let's get away from those. Let's interrupt him. Okay. Be looking for these next set of traps. Oh shit. Okay, we're safe. We're safe. Let's go ahead and top ourselves back up here just a little bit. There we go. Got the interrupt. We're all nice and tight here. Looks pretty good. Be looking for those traps. Get him interrupted. And this is the fight. It's just moving away from those traps as he throws them. You can kind of see the animation for where he throws them on the ground. You want to make sure Shade Wings get interrupted, and if Dark Fang starts to do that nasty, nasty cleave onto you, you move away from it. And you can kind of see how far through this room we've been moving, right? That's why we cleared out so much of this trash. We want to give ourselves plenty of room to walk around here. Let's get him interrupted. Okay. Let's get out of that. Good. We're out of range of that, so we're fine there. We've got Shade Wing still focused, so there goes our interrupt. Got him down, or his interrupt down. And we're just kind of waiting for that next set of traps to pop up here. We're in the middle of sub, which is really, really not ideal. We're down. Yeah, we're down. Alright, Legion's up. I do not have a Cooley right now. And I need one pretty bad. I need to get myself kind of reset right now. Let's get out all these traps here. Okay, so we still got Shade Wing. There's our next interrupt, which is fine. We just need to be looking for these next set of traps here. Where are you throwing them? I can't see those for some reason. I'm having just the most difficult time. There we go. Let's get some Leech back out. Get Shade Wing back to targeted. Fuck off, man. There he goes again. One more interrupt. There. Okay. It's a lot going on for a dungeon boss. Like, there's a lot of movement. Alright guys, for this next stuff, we're going to pop something to walk across this water here real fast, because we have that ability, and we're going to just kind of hug the left. There's two ways of doing this, right? You can actually come right across here, and you can split these two groups, and you can walk right up the middle, and grab just these little Void Discharge. Works just fine. It'll get you over there. Tank has to be able to live through getting those stacks. It does some pretty nasty damage, but you can do that. And everybody in the group has to be really comfortable with splitting those packs. Now, we can also do it another way. Grab a little bit extra trash here. Let's run up here. We're actually just going to line aside behind this pillar for now. That'll work. Oh, crap. Oh, I'm proc. Oh, come on, guys. I got him grouped. Just get it back up here when you can. Alright, we're just gonna sit here and live through it. It'll be alright. We'll be fine. Let's get all these explosives down. We don't want any of these going off. We are whack-a-mole master. Explosive, explosive, explosive. Explosives don't matter here. Oh crap, I can't reach it. No, we got it, we got it, we got it, we're good. Alright, next one. There we go. Get away from that. Alright, looking good. Let's get some leech out again. Alright, and you can see how we're just keeping them all kind of nice and even. Looks good. Here we go. There we go. We got it all grouped up real nice. Oh my god, dude. I hate that pull ability so much. I get pulled off that, the ads just far enough I can't Death Strike, and I get absolutely toned. Because if I can't Death Strike, I don't live. Alright, there we go. Not too bad. We got it. Down into this room, there's 4 pets that we have to deal with. 2 pets here that have these void flayers, as well as little void benders, right? We've got 1 pad of discharges, and then we've got this one that's actually walking around here, okay? We want to try and kill these discharges, then we want to try and kill this pat. And then we're going to work on the flayer groups. Now the flayers don't have a ton of life, but they have a really, really, really nasty damage ability. We need to make sure we focus those flare offs as quick as possible. If you have any kind of stun or silence that you can use on those, it is crucial that you get those down. If you can stop that damage from going out, you'll probably save a life. Probably. I don't really want to do that now. So we're going to let this pack just walk by. We're going to grab these void discharges and we're going to get going. We're not really concerned about time, so just take it nice and easy. Alright, so same thing with these. Now there's a lot of purple around the edge of the room here. You want to make sure you're not standing in that or letting the ads stand in that. Because again, you'll take damage, it'll buff them. It's all bad. Oh my gosh, that dot though. One thing for the heals, those little blobs, they don't hit very hard, but they do put a super nasty dot on me. Once I hit 5 stacks, which is pretty much almost instant at this point, I need some big heals. Trickster. Especially when they're all dead and I can't Death Strike or use other things like that, it gets really ugly. Alright, we'll get the pat next since it's coming around this way. You can pull the boss right now, so be careful of where you're targeting. If you pull the boss, it'll engage all the ads around the edge of this room. So here we go with them. Okay. Now, see this unstable dark matter? It needs to die immediately. If that stuff is allowed to live, it gets super nasty, super fast. Dark matter coming out. There it is. Kill it. Good. So here we go. Now remember, these void flayers are going to do incredible amounts of damage. I'm going to go ahead and stun the orange one. If you guys have something that'll stun the other one, go ahead and pop it out, and then we just want to try and kill it all evenly. We're going to break that ice trap almost immediately, I'm afraid. Here we go. We got it fixed. Why are you not? When I say I want threat, I have threat. Knock it off. Okay, there we go. Alright, same thing on this side. Try and be careful about the orbs. Or not the orbs, the discharges over there. these guys over here so those orbs don't get pulled. Alright, let's get these guys wrapped up here and we'll be done with them. Okay, for this next boss. In just a second. Okay, and this next boss. I'm going to need somebody to interrupt his very, very first cast. Now when he does that, I'm going to drag him off to an edge. And that way we're going to have a lot more room to move when he goes to do his Entropic Force. The big abilities you have to worry about here are going to be Howling Dark, which is a cast that needs interrupted or everybody gets disoriented and people probably die. He's going to spawn tentacles throughout the course of the fight. Those have to be killed over the boss. They're going to do just crazy amounts of damage, and we have to make sure that everybody's focusing over onto those tentacles, okay? At some point he's going to spawn 2 guards, right? When those guards spawn up, you have either 10 or 12 seconds to kill them. During that, the Viceroy is going to cast something called End of All Things. That has to be interrupted, but it can't be interrupted until the guards are dead, right? So I'm going to walk up, I'm going to grip one of the guards to the other guard. You guys are going to blow both of them up. And then I need somebody to interrupt that End of All Things cast. I'm going to try and take care of the Howling Dark cast. The other thing he does, if you think back to Dursaron in Darkheart Thicket, that big pushback that the dragon boss does, same thing, except he's trying to push you out into the void, or the edges, because the edges of the room is going to be filled with void, right? So you want to start off stacked as close to the boss as humanly possible. We're going to pull him off to one side of the room, that way you've got a lot more room to kind of work back, or to get pushed back. But you want to make sure, you know, you've got your back towards the open side of the room, basically. Alright, somebody give me an interrupt. Tentacles are out. I've got first Howling Dark. There's an explosive up. Leech is out. Here comes the Force. Get to the boss. Tentacles are back out. Guards are coming in 8. I've got the Howling Dark. Tentacles are down. Here comes the guards. Kill the guards. Interrupt boss. Perfect. That's the whole fight. Now just do it a couple more times. I've got Howling Dark. Here comes Tentacles. Let's go ahead and leech that. Force in 5. Be working right towards the boss. Oh, this is some nice cleave. Guards. Kick those down. Interrupt boss. Interrupt boss. Interrupt, 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 interrupt. Holy shit, Chef. Don't do that. My heart can't take it. Oh my god, mine wasn't either. I got the Howling Dart. I was like, oh, not like this. Alright, I've got Howling Dart. Oh, those tentacles can be interrupted, stunned, slowed, or not slowed, but CC'd. Just make sure that one person is saving something for that Eternal Twilight cast. Force, be up by the boss. Run, you fool. Another set of guards. Enter up. Good. Easy fight, right? Nice slow rhythm. Tentacles coming. Howling Dark in 4. I've got Howling Dark. Okay. Force in 8. Be working your way towards the boss. Force coming now. The closer you are, the less you get pushed back, so try and work your way up there. Oh shit, we're on the wrong side. There we go. Nice. That was clean as shit. Okay, so now there's a bunch of RP. If we were short on percentage right now, we could be pulling all these discharges around the edges of the room, right? There's, what, 4 or 5% worth, 5%, something like that. But we're good on percentage because we pulled those extra couple packs to kind of work our way around that edge. We don't have to worry about it. So in this next room, we're going to walk down a hallway that's a gauntlet, right? That trash isn't actually worth any percentage. At the end of that is another two big Rift Wardens that we have to kill. Once those die, that'll make the boss active or eligible to be engaged, I should say. Let's go ahead and get all these little guys here. I'm going to pull them to the end of this hallway, and there's those 2 Rift Wardens. So let's get all these guys here dead. Okay. Wow, that was some really, really bad lag. Alright, let's get these Rift Wardens down. We're gonna go ahead and leech this out right here. Now, as those littles die, they're actually gonna be dropping pools on the ground, so you need to be watching that. I saw them, they disappeared. No, there they are. See who's here. Oh, they're just despawning really quickly. Alright, be looking at these ads though, and kind of looking at what they do, because we're gonna talk about the next boss here in just a second. Clear out these 2 littles. Alright, now once Lure goes active, we're going to be able to hit her like 1 time, and then she's going to go basically immune, right? If you look at her health pool, again, she's got like 970 something million life. It's because there's another burst windows here. We're going to be playing vulnerability phases again. So for the first phase, we're going to hit the boss. She's going to go active. And then there's going to be a void zone that spawns on one side of the room, as well as one of those big Rift Wardens, okay? I'm going to pick up as many of those littles as I can, kill off the Rift Warden. Wherever the littles die, they're going to leave those little black pools on the ground again. The Rift Warden is going to be casting something called Fragment. If you're familiar with Kill Jaden from the Tomb of Sargeras raid, it looks similar to that, except it's purple. You need to run over there and soak those. May have to pop a cooldown. They don't hit particularly hard. But if you're standing in something else, your life is already low, you'll want to use something to kind of survive that. So for the first one, it's one big, couple packs of littles, drop little pools. Once all that's dead, Laura's going to go into a backlash phase. During this phase, she takes 200% additional damage. It only lasts 12 seconds, so you want to just pump as much damage as you can into Lura before she goes back to being invulnerable. During the next phase, we're going to have 2 of those big Rift Wardens spawn, okay? As well as 2 portals, one on either side of the room, where littles are going to be spawning. Now, mechanics are the same, except now we have 2 fragments, right? So everybody kind of needs to be looking and going around and picking those out so that they both get soaked. If one goes off, it's going to do a big group of AoE damage, and it's going to really, really make it hard to live through the encounter. Once all of those guys die, the little die, there's going to be purple everywhere. It's going to be kind of nasty. Kill off the Rift Guardians, make sure you soak the fragments. She's going to go into a second and final backlash phase. Again, it's going to be 12 seconds. We're going to pop Lust right at the beginning of this backlash phase. We're going to throw as much damage into her as we possibly can. And then we're all going to kind of stack up on the side of the boss, right? So if Locust Walker is the boss, and I'm standing here, we're going to sit there, damage, cool. On the other side, or she's going to pick up all the purple stuff on the ground, and she's going to basically place it over the top of people throughout the room, right? So what you want to do is, as that kind of lifts up, you just want to run straight through the boss and go back to doing damage. Then they're going to pick up all the purple, you're just going to kind of run through the boss, and that's it. It's just getting the timing and getting comfortable with watching the purple stuff move and running back and forth through the boss. You do that basically for the last 300 million life, whatever she's got at that point, okay? It does take some practice with the timing, but it's not too bad. So I'm just going to throw a dot, just enough to engage the boss, and then we're going to go start killing ads. Here we go. What's on the menu today? Today is workshop day, bud. Starting off with a Seat of the Triumvirate. Alright. Here comes some of those littles. And there's our fragment. You can see the big thing. I'm going to go stand in it. And you can see it's going to do just a little tick of damage to me. And that's it. Here comes some more littles. Backlash. Start putting damage on the boss. Nuke, 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 nuke. Go. 7 seconds. Oh, get some, get some. Alright, there we go. Alright, you see the littles? We're going to drop a Death and Decay. That's going to give us threat on those. I'll get the fragment over here. Somebody else needs to get the other one. Let's go ahead and pop a little leech right here. We're going to drop a Death Decay over there. 2 soaks here. Got him. Be careful about double soaking those. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, let's lost the first backlash. That'll be fine. Should be coming. Lust, burn. Yeah, they make this one really, really difficult to see, and I don't, like, seems like a pretty poor design choice. Kill mark. That should be a wrap. Backlash, go. Alright, be stacked up on me. And this is where we're going to get the wall. Yeah, like, yeah, I understand the theme, but come on, man. Like, what is the cost here? And move. And that's it. Every time you see that stuff, just walk through. Now the boss does do ramping damage. So you want to save coolies for later if you can. But not at the cost of life. And this last bit is just getting really familiar with the timing. It does definitely take some practice. Because you look, if you're doing it right, you look like you're walking into bad. Alright, here we go. I got Leech up in a second. Leech is out. And it's just like this is just the walk back and forth. Now you can see this ramping damage. Damage done increased by 53, 54. You see that stacking that stacking buff right there. That is the enrage, man. At a certain point, that boss is going to one-shot me. My job is just to live long enough for everybody else on the team to kill it off. Cooldowns like this, being able to pop Leech for our boy Druid here, makes it a lot easier. Alright, boys, and that is a seat of the Triumvirate.